Okay, I have a video today with the, and sorry about the cord, it's hopefully to make sure the wind doesn't interfere. I have a Staccato, an STI Staccato C. My understanding is they don't make these anymore. It is a single stack 9mm with a I think it's 3.9 inch barrel. And I have a my Bul Armory, and this is the SAS2 Ultralight. I've done 3 other videos on this. The first 2, basically what the problem I was having was the pistol would essentially freeze right about here, because it just wasn't able to extract the rounds. So I sent the pistol into Bul Armory, who got that repaired. I haven't had that issue at all. The only issue I've had with this pistol is feeding soft points. Essentially, as they come up in the magazine well, try to put this here where you guys can kind of see them. The soft point impacts at the bottom of the ramp and then kind of mushes and doesn't feed into the chamber reliably. Hasn't done it with hollow points or the truncated noses bullets, the FMJs with the truncated noses. It's only done it with the soft points, Magtech. I think it was 124 grain. You can go watch the previous video on it. I haven't been able to find any more of that ammunition. Nobody sends me ammunition, or none of these firearms companies or anything are supporting this channel or me or anything. Just not important enough. Not that I wouldn't take anything. It's just that I'm just not important. So I have to find ammunition the same way you guys do, which is, chance upon it at the gun store, or, pay ridiculous prices online, what have you. So I haven't been able to find any more of that ammunition to see if this thing resolves that over time. As far as the other ammunitions go, though, it's been fine. So, happy to report that. The Staccato is new to me. The story is the individual who bought it essentially never shot it and then brought it into the gun store and traded it in. It certainly doesn't look like it's been fired at all. So, that could be, it could be true that I'm the one to put the first rounds through this pistol. Just kind of wanted to bring these out since they are both higher end 1911, 2011 style 9mm concealed carry options. Today I've got my Ruger Alaskan in case those New Mexico polar bears come for us. I will be well prepared. Yeah, only partially kidding on that. I do have 8-round magazines for the single stack. I was told 7, but they fit 8. I have noticed that the feed ramp situation, and I don't know how well we're going to be able to get in here. I might have to do this later with some snap caps. The feed ramp, this pistol, the magazine seems to hold the rounds a little bit higher, and so I am hoping that the feeding is more reliable. The Bul Armory, try to do the same thing. They're just a little bit lower, which is what allows the soft points to kind of mush before they go into the chamber. So that angle is just a little bit different. So hopefully all will go well. The very first rounds that I have loaded up for these 2 pistols, I have, I'm just going to go and use some jacketed hollow points that I have. These are 147 grain Federal Hydra Shocks. So we'll see how this one works. I'm going to shoot at the bottom target, and we will see. We'll see how I do. Like I said, I believe these are the first shots through the pistol, so we will see. And I've got to try to avoid doing anything with that wire there. So I think I said I was going to shoot at the bottom target. Oh, the sight is a nice bright red fiber optic. You have a fiber optic on the Bul Armory as well. It's not as big. They are both nice and bright. I mean, this is a very sunny day. It's southern New Mexico. This is the first week of February I'm shooting this. So they are both very eye-catching. The STI is definitely a bigger and brighter red dot sight than the Bul Armory. Okay. For some reason, when I'm recording, it basically doesn't record for several seconds. So just making sure that before I get talking again, you guys can kind of take a look. Definitely I pulled the one that was high and the ones that were low. It's certainly capable of better accuracy than that. It didn't have any trouble at all with the hollow points. The only thing I've done is, essentially put a little bit of oil on the pistol. Other than that, it's, just straight from the factory, as far as I'm aware. Like I said, the individual who had the pistol originally reportedly never took it out and shot it. I'm glad it fed it as it did, because I noticed something when I was pushing rounds out of the magazine on my own. A little bit earlier. Let's see if I can get it to do it again. Maybe. Well, this one, it's kind of nosing them down. So it's kind of nosing down in the magazine, which obviously wasn't a problem because this is the magazine I just took out of the gun. Earlier, what I had noticed was as I was pushing them out, they were staying up level. However, the rim was catching right here, or not the rim, the top of the case was catching right here. Obviously the pistol worked just fine with those 147s. So here are some. These are Sig Sauer Elite Performance. Can't remember if they're 115 or. Yeah, these are 115 grain FMJs. I have this magazine loaded up for the Bul Armory with the same ammunition, so we'll shoot that one here next. It's got a nice feel. It's got a nice trigger. Okay. Lose my little wire, which is not a surprise. I'm going to load it up with the Federals here. And then we'll shoot the Bul Armory. And again, as you guys saw, I'm a little bit all over the map. Just getting used to the pistol, so don't hold that against the pistol at all. It's certainly more me than the pistol. We are at about 7 yards, thereabouts. From what I've read, these pistols are known for being very accurate. So again, don't blame the pistol for me. I'm loading these up with Federals, and I'll go ahead and Federal 115 grains, and I'll go ahead and put this next to the magazine for the Bul Armory. The trigger is nice. I don't think it's quite as nice as the Bul Armory, but let me shoot this and I'll remind myself. I only put in 10. Again, thanks ammunition shortages. Okay, I'm going to shoot at that the top target. Just a complete flyer on me. I'm just kind of drifting things a little bit off to the left. Okay, I'm going to shoot the Federal out of the Bul Armory. The Bul Armory, I think, has a slightly better trigger, but the difference in the sight is really noticeable. Okay, that is a very nice crisp trigger. I do think it's probably a little bit lighter than the Staccato. I think this is advertised as about a 4.5 pound trigger. I don't have a trigger gauge though. But yeah, that sight really, it's a real difference in the sight. Okay, hopefully that's allowed enough time for us to get back to the sound. It was kind of interesting shooting the Federal. It was the brass Federal 115 grain. All those rounds either came back at me or just kind of dribbled out. Whereas the other types of ammunition we fired have gone quite a bit farther. So it just wasn't ejecting those as forcefully. This is that 115 grain, just target ammunition. Or range ammunition, I should say, not target ammunition. I'm currently loading up a Gila 124 grain. This is what the Bul Armory pistol really liked, even when it didn't like anything else. So all right, got that loaded up. And yeah, I mean it's a huge difference in the sight. Just when you bring it up, what you're able to see. So, had no trouble. Well, all right, so it had no trouble at all with the Aguila. I have this last magazine loaded up with S&B 115 grain. Again, just your standard range ammunition. So let's see how we do. Okay. All right, and going to use that same S&B 115 grain with the Bul Armory. Seem to have loaded 12. Go. Okay, and I'm going to load this up with some MagTech Guardian Gold 124 grain jacketed hollow points. Just putting in 5. I have 5 in a magazine for the Bul Armory as well. The difference in the triggers, I believe the Bul Armory does have a slightly nicer trigger, but it's very close. Neither one of them has creep. They break very cleanly, very predictably. The sight is a big difference. The sight is definitely much more eye-catching with the Staccato than with the Bul Armory. All right. Yeah, the sight is a big. Lost it again. The sight is a big difference. The trigger is a small difference. The capacity is a big difference. 15-round magazines with the Bul Armory, and 8-round magazines with the Staccato. So you've got a big difference in capacity. You've got a big difference in the sights, in terms of the brightness and how much or how easy it is for your eye to catch that sight. The triggers are close. I would give the edge to the Bul Armory. The feel, I actually really like the Staccato. The Bul Armory has kind of the aggressive checkering, kind of almost G10ish kind of a feel to it, and the checkering on the front. The Staccato has the checkering on the front as well, but it's not as aggressive. The side just kind of it just feels really nice. It just sits in the hand and stays put without being overly aggressive. I do believe I read something in the manual about how you're not supposed to take the grips off. Something about how they're molded in, but unless you're really going to tinker with it, I don't know that you would need to. As far as the width goes, I mean the length, yeah, the Staccato C is longer than the Bul Armory by, the barrel's about, I want to say about 3/4 of an inch longer. The weight, they don't feel like they weigh too much different, but I believe the Staccato is a little bit heavier, even though it's a single stack, because it is longer. Also, the Bul Armory has done a lot in the way of lightning back here, and then of course in the barrel itself. The width of the pistols, I did bring out my little calipers just because I hadn't done this before, and we are at about 1.1 for the Staccato, about 1.3 and a bit for the Bul Armory. So you're talking about, a 1/4 inch difference for the width on the grip. I think it does make the Staccato a little bit easier to shoot, but I do have kind of smaller hands, and so your mileage may vary. A lot just depends on, do you like the way it looks? Are you looking for a double stack, a single stack? The Staccato, if you can find one of these, its most direct competition would probably be like the EMP 4-inch, which would be about $500 cheaper than this retail. I know aftermarket these have been going for a little higher than retail. Of course, everything's going higher than retail right now. For a couple $100, I would definitely look at the Staccato versus the Springfield. I do like Springfields, but this is just a really nice pistol. It definitely seems to be well made. It fitted that variety of ammunition. I wish I had more types, but again, ammunition availability being what it is right now. The sight on this is outstanding. It's got a very good trigger. You've got your double undercut, for your grip. Lets your hands sit nice and high. There's a lot to like about this pistol. There's also a lot to like about the Bul Armory SAS2 Ultralight. So, these are comparably priced. These were about $1,300 MSRP. That was about $1,500 MSRP. Do you want the longer barrel? Do you want the double stack? Do you want the brighter sight? Now, you could change this sight out, so it's not like it can't be done. And the Bul Armory sight, the rear is adjustable for windage and elevation, whereas this is a simpler sight in terms of being able to make any adjustments. You can drift it, but you can't get anything for the elevation. I don't know that you really need to. This sight is a shelf, so that way, if you had to, you could rack the slide on a surface. You could try with this, and you might be able to catch it, but there is a bit of a slope to it, so you might not. Versus the the Staccato, which is definitely designed to do that. This one is not. I don't know how important that would be to you. It's not terribly important to me. But different people have different views. You do have nice aggressive holds on both pistols, front and rear. I don't think you could go wrong either way, especially now that this one is running reliably. And I don't know about Staccato's customer service. I can tell you that when I was having issues with the Bul Armory actually commented on one of the videos saying, "Hey, call us." And so I did. They got me in, and they added in 2 magazines extra. So I have 4 mags for it. The Staccato comes with the 2. I think you can use the with the Staccato you can use the Wilson Combat 9mm mags. So there are some things out there. The Staccato comes with kind of a nice soft case, has place for 5 mags, and they give you a holster, which I probably wouldn't use because it's Kydex, but it comes with all that. The Bul Armory, mine originally shipped without the box because they just didn't have boxes, but they said they would send it to me, and I thought to myself, yeah, sure, maybe, but they did, and hey, good for them for remembering and not just blowing it off, which would have been pretty easy to do, especially keeping track of some box for some guy. And I think there's a little spot underneath. Nope, never mind. it is a nice case. I mean, you don't buy the pistol for the cases, obviously. So, hopefully that gives you some information. Oops. If you are kind of deciding between, one of the Staccatos, which I think you can find on Gunbroker, or the SAS, which you have to order and wait for. So it's the Staccato C, STI Staccato C, and the Bul Armory SAS2 Ultralight.